All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. I got another watch list for you, and the stock market can move 5% tomorrow. We have the CPI in the morning, an hour before the bell. It is going to be a very, very important event. I would argue this is going to be the most important thing until Thanksgiving and even afterwards besides the midterms, but there is a lot riding on this, and keep in mind, you still are going to have Friday to trade, but before we get into any of that, tomorrow morning we are going to be live for all of it. The CPI comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That is an hour before the bell, but we will be live about 10 to 15 minutes prior to the release, and I am going to go over everything. So I have the breakdown for you, but just in case tomorrow gets confusing, in case we have to get into the nitty-gritty, oh man, we got the diffusion index. We're going to bring up the core services. I'm telling you, we know where to look, and if you don't know where to look, you're gonna want to be there, especially if you want to get an early jump on the market, the reaction, and all of that. So it's gonna be crazy. The unpopular take is that maybe it does nothing, and then we have to wait till Friday with the earnings, but it should be crazy, so we're going to see. I hope it moves, but it was insane. I'm telling you, even then, this 5% thing, JP Morgan said the same thing at the beginning of the week, but even tying it in to what happened today, you had so much news. I'm talking politics, aluminum stuff, the literal Fed minutes, even inflation data, and that even came in hot. It wasn't really even the best inflation data, and I'm telling you, there were so many things that happened, but look at the chart. It just kept getting batted down, but it wouldn't go too low, but it managed to close below that 200-week level, so it was pretty wild, but the fact that we did not move at all today throughout the whole 7 hours, it traded like the after hours futures. That's just showing a lot of the tension is getting ready for tomorrow. And just don't forget, you still got those earnings. So we got a lot to talk about. I hope I see you there in the morning. I got the plays for you right now. We got the recap and then everything else. And I'm going to tell you what I did with my plays. I kind of beat out a little bit. You'll see it. We're going to get to it, baby. But drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/thestockmarket for years. And it's free. Free 99. Just have some love and positivity, and it's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. Can I tell you that? Everything's okay. No matter what. Market, ban, no ban, you're happy, everything's okay. I don't know if someone told you that recently. Okay, run it, baby. Hold up, because I know someone's going to be like, everything's not okay. No, but I'm just saying. Words of encouragement, and just understand, you got to be prepared, prepared, run it.
Working to the couch, it's the 20 on the legs. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it.
But right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, we got to start with what we already talked about, but I got a couple more pretty pictures. I didn't get to them in the beginning, so if you made it, that's good. I love you anyways, but a lot of events today caused little movement. It was absolutely insane. It's highlighting the tension that we said, and that 200-week moving average, we have now closed below it. So overall, this wasn't a good look. It's highlighting the importance, and obviously the data and interpretation tomorrow, that's going to be the main driver. But I keep saying, don't forget about the earnings. And now why I'm bringing that up is because a lot of interesting things we're just coming into it at an interesting moment. One, the chart doesn't look like May 9th, May 10th anymore. You would have had some level of bounce by now, and it's kind of staying pinned, and it's below the level. That's the first thing. Again, we're coming off the minutes, and now here is the ECMI, and you'll notice today played out like the last minutes, but the problem is the last minutes, well, that was also kind of another one of these shifts. Literally was right there at the top, and now this is why I'm saying be careful of the earnings on Friday, because after that minutes, you didn't even move too much, and then it led into the Friday, and then everything started to flush. So again, I do expect a big move tomorrow, but with all of the volatility and everything, there's gonna, like, you got to keep your head on a swivel. And really what I'm trying to say is position for a big day tomorrow, but understand if we only get like half of it, or you get any confusion, volatility, even pops on the way down, just be prepared for that 2-day move. Again, Friday, and as it leads into everything, and we are going to get signals from the banks and all of that. But now here's the final thing to tie this all in. Here is the options bubble. This is showing you open interest on the SPY. And at 100, those are the ones that are in the money. But we looked at this today. We're going to take a look at it tomorrow once everything updates with open interest, because this was as of yesterday or the last open interest number. But there is a lot of activity between the 350 and even on the upside, but there's a lot of people prepared and hedged for the downside. So that could be good and bad. Again, last week, remember, we even looked at the bubbles and you still made a big move. So it's not to say this will stop anything, but this is where I'm saying we've been getting a lot of back and forth, and even how the options are positioned. Tomorrow is going to be a big day, but if you watch the moves get reflected a little differently, this is what I'm on the lookout for, just like we've seen all week. Pretty much, don't get fooled and maybe we'll see the move early and then it doesn't do much, or maybe we don't see much early and then we watch it develop. But keep your head on a swivel. But that is the first key. Now coming into the second key, how to analyze tomorrow and what to be prepared for. Again, I can't tell you enough. If you want to see it live in action, I'm ready to work for. We are going to be there. So if you need that assistance, you got to be on there live. And again, if there's other factors you're not aware of, I'm sure we're going to expose it to you, and that's what I'm going to share with you even here. But again, the dynamics of it all, if anything changes, this is a static video. We are going to be live. But here is the breakdown. You should already know this. It should be common sense. The lower the CPI number, the better it is for the market. The higher the number, the worse it's going to get to the downside. Now, the number that is expected is 8.1% year over year. Is there other numbers? Yes, we're going to talk about those, but this is the simple, easy one to be looking at. The year over year number, 8.1. Higher or lower than that number will determine your reaction. If we are a lot lower than 8.1, right now, the current lowest economist estimate of the official 70 economists in the world and the institutions, I don't even know who, how do they even pick them? But the lowest right now is 7.9. The highest is 8.3. So not too much of a difference, but I've brought this up the last couple of CPIs. You've literally watched every economist miss for almost 3 quarters in a row. So the range is tight this time. Maybe they'll get it right. But again, with the range being tight, if it does come above 8.3 or the other, that'll be even, or 8.3 or 7.9, that'll be bad. But watch the 8.1 number, higher or lower. That's going to determine a lot of it. Again, it is going to be very simple. Now, let's say it's not simple. What if it comes in close? What if it comes in at 8.0, 0.1 below? Or let's say it comes in at 8.1. That's kind of how the PPI was today. A couple metrics came in line, month over month came in hotter, and then like one core measure declined a little bit, but essentially you might get an inline reaction, and that has happened a lot. Again, over the last couple weeks, everyone's hyped up. You're expecting data. It's going to be a big event. Then it comes in line, and then really that means it's priced in. So if that is the case, I still think we're going to get a big move because people are going to be looking for the data and how it could influence the Fed. And then right away, there will be implications for the bond, the dollar, and then everybody else around the world. But if it is close, 8.0, 8.1, 8.2, pay attention to the core inflation and the core services. Now, this should be good to hear. I mean, I hope this is reassuring, because if you have been watching core, we've brought up the importance, and that's exactly what happened last time. Last time, you had all of this move, but it was core. Again, the charts I showed you in the beginning, that's what made me determine it right off the bat. I said, I don't care, even if it moves up, right, that is going to just be a negative reaction, and this right there, the market and bonds aren't going to like it. Thankfully, a lot of other people are paying attention to this too, even big bond money. Even Ira Jersey brought this up, the Chad brought it up as well too, but it's very, very simple. Watch core inflation. If the headline now, 8.1, if that chills out, but core inflation rockets, it's going to be awful. If core inflation drops, it'll be amazing. So core is important, but also now core services. A lot of people don't know this exists. So yes, you have core inflation and normal inflation, but now if you dive deeper into the report, and that's what we're going to do in the morning, there's the service side, and they have goods and services. And service inflation, I literally brought this up a year ago, and we were talking about this early on. And remember I said, once service inflation goes, well, there's the stickiness, and sure enough. So core services now is what we want to be looking at. That's another factor that if that one goes up as well too, that will be more negative, or it'll highlight inflation is sticky. So even if the headline comes down and people like it initially, if core services or core goes up a lot, reality will set in on that one. So keep that in mind, but the logic is all the same. Again, if it's good and bad, you'll know what to do. So hopefully you're ready. Hopefully we see you there in the morning. Be safe, and remember, we still got a couple more days, and now everything after this, it's earnings, then Powell, then midterms, and then it's the end of the year, bro. So I hope you're ready, but let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I was leaning in. You like this shirt? They said the chat, they say Josh likes to wear these unbuttoned shirts. And you know what I said? I don't mind if I do, baby. It's a beautiful day. Let's enjoy it. But we have to go over the plays. I'll get to the positions in a little bit. I can't hold in the surprise. I beat out on the NQ. I held it throughout the day. I was only down $1,000 at one point, and then I was down to like $2 grand, but it went up and kept getting smacked down. I said, I'm over it. But instead of selling out, what I did, I just shorted a big ES now, and when I was down about $2,000. So pretty much I locked myself in. There's like a $2,000 loss that I'm on, but essentially wherever it moves, it shouldn't move me more than 2,500. And my plan is just pick them up and drop them at the right time tomorrow with the data, and hopefully we could execute. So we're going to get into all of that. But as far as the first play, baby, TLT and Shy. I brought this up yesterday. I'm going to bring it up again. TLT, that's the longer end of the bonds. That's the longer duration, 10-year or 20-year plus bonds. Shy is the 1 to 3 year, I believe. That's the short end of the curve, but literally long end and short end of the curve. I think the bonds are going to move a lot. The 10-year, the 2-year, they're at these breaking points again. Everything with the dollar and all of that. I think coming into this data and where they are at, even just hearing how people are talking about it, seeing the value, but also people want to wait for the data before they make any of these big bond moves. I really think the data is going to be key, and pretty much I think bonds alongside financials, I think those are going to be the biggest leaders or biggest moves following this, even leading into next week. So remember, we brought that up around the last CPI and even Jackson Hole, and we said watch those financials. So I still think they're important, and you remember how they led. Well, bonds right now are going to be key. So if you want to play it, you can. I would watch it. I have no plays on TLT or Shy now. I may be tempted to trade the futures, but depending on the reaction tomorrow, I really think that'll be an opportunity, or maybe it might tilt the hand and maybe the bonds keep snitching, and then we'll see what's up. But that is play number 1. Now play number 2, baby. FXB, man. I'm here to give you your daily reminder that the pound is pricing in around 4% moves over the next couple of weeks. And that is insane for a global currency, especially the pound. So I'm still holding this short. Again, I think it's very, very important. You even got to see the yen. We are still in that YCS. And remember, I'm positioning both ways and we have them to kind of balance out, but things are moving there. But the pound is literally the most volatile currency in the world right now. You would think it would be the yen, you would think it would be the dollar, but based on this pricing in, that 4% I'm talking about, there was a report this morning talking about how the pound has elevated to the #1 spot of volatility recently. So it's a trade. There's opportunity. You got to be careful, but I'm definitely going to be eyeing that, especially as we move through all of this. And then finally, baby, don't kill me. I'm not saying upside. Nah, but I do kind of like it for the upside, but Meta, okay? They dropped today 5%. You can see it right here, but the market hasn't been moving like that. Even though we are at the lows, they've been outpacing. Essentially 5%. It's almost like an earnings move. So keep that in mind. Snap is going to come out beforehand, but watching how they're moving here, depending on if we get a bounce or not, I think they can move a little bit. So even if they get crushed, though, they are at a key level and can absolutely just die. But also now to the upside, if anything gets good, I think they might be able to run there. So I'm going to be eyeing them, and they've already had that little mini earnings move in a way. And that just, it makes things weird a little bit, but I like it. But those are your main plays. As far as everything else. Here are the trades for the day, and it wasn't that exciting. I only made a couple again. Just the day was wild. My first trade, actually, it was AVPT. There was news. We got it early. They had a partnership with Microsoft. I got in $392, 500 shares. Sold that at $398. I'd made like $300 or no, $30, excuse me. But I was like, I don't want to really play it there. It didn't really move. I thought it would, but then everything was just so, everything was very, very weird today. But got out of that one, and then by middle of the day there, after that big pop failed, and then it did the little dancing queen again, I said, nah, man. You know, we'll just call it a day. $2,000 is not too crazy on the NQ. Let's lock it in here. It's going to tie me up a little bit, but this is just putting me into the data now, and then really we're going to ride everything else. But I went short on the big ES to kind of balance it out, and that was pretty much it. But as far as the holdings now, you can see what I'm talking about. There's the pound. I was very excited and disappointed on this one. I'm still down 500 now, and you see how volatile this is. That's why I keep telling you guys, if you like that volatility, again, I've been holding it and riding it out, but there was many opportunities to go back and forth on it, and maybe I might be down to start doing that here, or just going to keep riding it out. But the thing about it, I wanted this as insurance, and it was working. The B of E keeps stepping in. So pretty much on the NQ yesterday, I was down less money than I was today. But then last night when the pound dropped, I was up almost $1,000 on it. So I like it. It doesn't work good during the market hours, or I think until Friday. That line of the sand with the Bank of England, we still have to see a lot with that. But still holding that. The ES says P&L open. I made like $400 or $600 unrealized on the way down to balance it out. So even the NQ says I'm down like $2,800. Those are just going to balance out. But pretty much I locked it in. It was like $2,400 loss on the NQ. And then I still have those upside options. The MNQ from this week to the upside down 500, and then my Dow is also down 500. That's the first trap I got in. And then there's the big one, then the Apple, the shares. I'm up $1 a share. Really hasn't moved much, only 75 bucks. ACAM, they actually did better than the NASDAQ today, so still holding that one. The plan with that one, end of November. Either end of the market rally, or hopefully we get the buyout. Then the Boeing, I'm up 179. And the ARC, I don't know if that one came down or not, but then the UNG, Boyle, all of those are the down plays. Adobe, they're roughly in the same spot, or we have not been able to find our exit on them. So with that also in mind, I'm going to buy UNG when it gaps down, or 6% down day. Until then, we ride out. It was pretty much at the same price that we got it at last Monday today. But that is everything. As far as tomorrow, man, just be ready, be prepared. We got to be ready to interpret it, and how we move from there will be it. And make sure we don't get trapped. And then now we got to start thinking ahead. Earnings, pal, and end of the year. So I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to enjoy the moment. That's it. It's going to be a big event, but it don't matter, man. There's good, there's bad, there's a lot. Even then, people like I said, why are you excited? Why are you? No, man. I'm just enjoying the moment, and you need to too. Imagine if you could go back in time before a lot of things change, and imagine if you could just soak in that moment before everything changed. And even if nothing changes, I'm not saying it has to be a major one, but I think you know what I'm saying. You got to enjoy the moment. You are going through something now. The world is going through a lot. Either way, good or bad, just because you got to enjoy the moment, it does not doom it to hell. It does not make it like the most best thing. I'm telling you, you just got to know, and you just got to enjoy it, because you don't know what's going to happen. Don't let me get too hyped, chat. So let's go, baby. I'm going to see you in the morning, bright and early. Drink that water. Stay hydrated. I need some outlet. I need some defense. Hit the free throws, baby. God bless you, Chad. I love you. Thank you for the positivity. Amen, amen, amen. Throw your like in the sky. Feel the vibe through the rock up. I know. But it was the like, you know what I'm saying? They don't know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, okay, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. You better drink that water. You better get stuck and dry, bro. Stop letting them play with you. It's fine. I hope you got the time for it, man. I need you to be hungry, but don't move like you starving. We ain't over yet, bro. That's it. I need you to get that spirit from Nazareth, baby. They can't kill you. You gotta, oh, come on, bro. Come on. Come on. All right, man. All right. See you later. See you in the morning.